Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, the honors into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Taziar Abiyah coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, the water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson in Lord's will. It is edifying to the sheep and to the flock of Yahweh, Yahushai, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose forefathers go back to Abraham, to Isaac, and unto Jacob. You are indeed the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. And it's time for you to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. This lesson is going to go into the chariots of Israel, man. Also known as the UAPs and the UFOs, man. But they are known biblically as the chariots of Israel. I want to read this quick article that I found. It's from 3 hours ago by the Express US. It says J.D. Vance makes alarming UFO confession after obsessing over unexplained sightings. It says U.S. Vice President and close Trump associate J.D. Vance not only accepts the existence of quote unquote aliens, but contends that mysterious UFO encounters are actually physical manifestations of biblical demons. Oh man, it says the startling revelation came directly from Vance himself, with the influential Republican disclosing his obsession with extraterrestrial phenomena on a widely heard U.S. podcast. Speaking with podcaster Benny Johnson, Vance claimed to be more curious than anybody regarding aliens, pledging to utilize his remaining 3 years as vice president to illuminate the subject, reports Daily Star. This is from JD Vance. He says, and I've got 3 years of the very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, he vowed. The obsessed Vance proceeded to share his hypothesis about what UFOs and possible alien encounters might represent. It says, and I got the picture of the chariot. It says, for the vice president, a practicing Catholic since his 2019 conversion, the explanation is demons. Oh man, here it is. This devil Esau Edom, man. It says when questioned about why he attributed UFO phenomenon to demonic entities, Vance referenced one of the devil's great tricks, persuading people that he never existed. Celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people. I think that desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens, he continued. Despite being Catholic, Vance also suggested that his hypothesis might resonate with followers of other religions as well. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there and there are things that are very difficult to explain, Vance said. The interview follows months of conjecture about whether Trump will honor his pledge to declassify the so-called UFO files, a collection of documents purportedly containing details of possible alien encounters and other extraterrestrial phenomenon. It says former President Barack Obama recently made a headline-grabbing claim that aliens are real, but I haven't seen them. They are not being kept in Area 51. There is no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy that they hear from the President of the United States, he added. After a flurry of online reaction, the former president walked back his remarks on Instagram posting. Um, yeah, uh, that's not important. Nevertheless, this is the thing. The elites know what time it is when they see the recent and frequent uh chariot sightings, man. They know what's coming and they're trying to prepare themselves the best way that they can. Now, of course, the puppets underneath the elites are going to try to divert and try to neglect the truth. And it's just funny that, JD Vance says that they're demons. And this is one thing, Jake, you got to understand, especially coming into the truth. You got to understand, you got to study to show that self approved, and you got to understand what words mean. So the word demon literally just means intelligence, man. Okay. You have the left hand and you have the right hand. Okay. Typically, the left hand is with the demons, man. It's with the left hand angels, like the spiritual demon Satan is on the left hand. Then you got the right handed angels, like the archangel Michael. Okay, and so on and so forth, man. But nevertheless, they're angels, man. The angels operate those so-called UFOs and UAPs. Those are the angels of the Most High, man. Okay, those are the heavenly vehicles that the angels operate in, man. And they know, because come on now, if you're just saying that they're aliens, why would you automatically just revert to demons? Because you know that that's coming from the heavens, man. And you know ultimately that they're not on your side. Because if you was so concerned, if you so obsessed, and if you had something good, you would say, oh yeah, they're on our side, and this, not the third. No, you know that the sightings of the chariots is your like the scriptures say, that is the sight of your doom. That is the curse to this world, man. The chariot sightings, because the chariots are going to be doing two things: destroying and saving. That's the balance of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be zapping a lot of people, like the movie with Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds. When you see that movie, holla at me. That's a very great imagery when you think of what the chariots of Israel are going to be doing, man. They're going to be zapping people in the dust, man, and also saving the elect, beaming the elect up, while this place is being destroyed by the thermonuclear missiles and the beams from the chariots, man. Okay. So yeah, you could find this again on Express US. This was about 3 hours ago. Uh, let's get the precepts, man, real quick. This is Psalms chapter 68 verse 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. And you got to remember also, let's get Second Kings real quick. Second Kings chapter 11. Second Kings 6 and 11, I meant to say. Let's start there. Yeah, let's start at 11 and read on down. Actually, yeah. It says, therefore, the heart of the king of Syria was sore trouble for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And none of his servants said none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. Now this is talking about an actual physical army. Back then how they traveled, they had horses that would have like the little carriage on the back that the men would stand on. If you ever watch like those older movies like 300, how they would be able to travel, they would travel with those, or another version of a chariot, with the horses leading the way. Okay. And it says and the king sent them after Elisha to capture Elisha. Okay. And it says, and when the servant of the man It says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So when he looked up and he saw all those so-called UFOs and UAPs. And the Lord showed Elisha, hey, don't worry about what you see down here physically. You see, man, don't worry about all that. They that be with us are more than they that be with them, man. And the same thing applies to us today. Don't worry about Esau Edom and his different armies and his different technology that he got, man. Fuck all that, man. Don't worry about it. And yes, the flesh does worry. The flesh is weaker than the spirit, most definitely. The flesh be like, oh shit, oh man, you mean to tell me I might get decapitated? Oh man, you might tell me I might get hit with a missile? Oh man, they could shoot a little baby bullet at me and all this different things. And the flesh is weak and it worries for sure. But that's where we rely on our faith at, man. That's where we rely on our faith at, man. That's where we rely on our fear in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, to guide us and protect us, man, in hopes that we are of the hopefully elect. Because again, they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Esau could come with his military, he could come with his police force, he could come with his SWAT teams and all that shit, man. But it don't matter because they cannot defeat the right hand. They come in the forms of the left hand, and the right is stronger than the left for sure. Okay. Let's get this real quick. Hey, he got to stop. I'm in the middle of doing my lesson. Salakia. 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 I just lost my train of thought. Let's get Zechariah 5 and verse 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold a flying roll. Because you gotta understand the scriptures speak in code, man. And there's different there's different words that can describe a chariot. It could be a flying roll. It could be a wheel within a wheel. It could be a cloud. It could be a huge mountain. It can be uh uh um uh, uh um a whirlwind. You know, there's different coded words that's talking about a chariot, also known as a UAP or UFO. So let's read Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on the side according to it, and everyone that swerveth shall be cut off as on the side according to it. You see? It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. And guess what? Again, just like how JD Vance was saying how he's obsessed with it and all these different sightings, they are witnessing the curse that goeth forth over the whole face of the earth, man. Because the chariots again are going to be destroying and saving. Okay. This is Acts chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, and when he has spoken these things, talking about Yahweh Shai, this was after Yahweh Shai was already crucified. This is when he risen, and this is after he was after he spent his time with the 12. And Salaka, yeah. This after the time he spent with the 12 disciples. All right. After he was crucified. Acts 1 and verse 9, it says, and when he spoke in these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So After he spoke with them, after he spoke the different things to them and prophesied to them, there was a chariot that beamed him up. And it says, and while they looked steadfastly towards heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. These are two angels. And it said, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This is the same Yahushua, this same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So they looking at them like, what y'all so amazed about? Y'all staring up. Hey, the same Yahushua that y'all see going up, hey, he's gonna come back in the same like fashion. Okay, and let's get this real quick. Just how he went up into a chariot, he's going to come back in a chariot, man. Isaiah 66 and verse 15. It reads, for behold, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, plead with all flesh. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. When you go to that word plead, that's the word shapat, which means judge. The Lord is going to judge all flesh. When you read Revelation 22, what does it say? Let's get it real quick. And I'm going to go back to Isaiah 66. Revelation 22 and verse 12. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. You see, the Lord is going to plead or judge all flesh and going to give every man his reward according as it shall be. So whether it's a righteous reward or a wicked reward, the Lord is going to come to plead with all flesh. He's going to judge all flesh. And guess what? The Lord is going to be doing a lot of unaliving, man. Okay? As well as saving. Again, because the elect is going to get beamed up and be protected from the oncoming destruction, and then 2/3 and the rest of the world is going to be getting destroyed, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. That's exactly how it's going to go down. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So guess what? Those different sightings that you're seeing, they're going to continue to increase. And that is the curse over the face of the whole world, as well as the sign of salvation for the elect. So, Lord's will, this is edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash, the wanders into the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the awful elect. It's your brother Taziar Ariyah. Till next time, I want to say Shalom. Wa Abba Shalom.